Dun dun dun. Lunch break. Lunch break? I have a lunch break. That's my lunch break. I'm Ron. Lunch break video. Gonna be talking about getting over the holiday depression kind of. I'm alone. I don't like life. It's COVID. I'm sorry. Do not give up. Do not give in to the emotions that you're feeling. These feelings that you're having are legitimate and transitory. That means they will transfer, they will change. They're like shifting sand. The Bible says, don't build your house on shifting sand, build it upon the rock. Because when the storm comes and the waters come against the house and they beat against the house, the shifting sand moves, the house collapses, and boom, it's a mess. It's destruction for the house and the inhabitants. Those are the emotions of, that's our heart, the house. This is my interpretation. Read the Bible for yourself. You'll like it. And if I'm wrong, tell me. If I'm right, enjoy it. And so the house collapses and the occupants are destroyed. It's just a bummer. And life comes and difficult times happen and you're just like, I don't like feeling alone and I'm scared because of COVID and I got problems. All of these are valid in that they, recognize them in your life, and I'm sorry. But the emotions that go with it, do not buy into the loneliness. Do not buy into the despair. Do not buy into the destruction. And I'm not saying don't plan and don't try to make things better. But what I am saying is this life is not defined by our emotions, because what happens is that when you build your heart upon Jesus by his Spirit, and it is a supernatural spiritual encounter with the living, loving God that raised his boy from the dead, because it's Christmas. It's supposed to be happy. Sometimes people get bummed out. But what happens is that it's time to get happy because the resurrection came after his birth. So what it is a child, unto us a child is born to take a beating on our behalf. Like, okay, Passover is an indication in the Old Testament of the Jewish people coming out of slavery, out of Egypt into freedom. On the night the night before they were going to be freed from slavery, Moses had them all kill a little lamb. And actually, this is part of not the when they were going to be freed, it was the spirit of death, or the angel of death was going to come into Egypt. And this was like Pharaoh was an old dude who had all the Jewish people enslaved. He's like, hey, let your people go. And God's like, fine, I got one more trip. I'm gonna deal with this dude pretty hard. Moses, and God's talking to Moses, have everybody stay at home, kill a lamb, put the blood upon the doorpost and the lintel at the top. And so Moses was like, okay, cool. So they do that, and it had to be a lamb that was without spot or blemish. Little lamb, happy little guy, killed it, ate it. And this is millions of people doing this. And then that evening, the spirit of death comes, or the angel of death, kills all the firstborn in Egypt. Everybody, you didn't have blood on there, you got whacked. You died. I don't even know. I think that might have been animals too. I'm not sure, but people for sure. So what's that got to do with Christmas? Well, Jesus is our sacrificial lamb. He is that payment that gets us out of slavery, because after the firstborn were killed in Egypt, Pharaoh's like, y'all got to go. Bye. Take some cash. Get out. And that's freedom for the Jewish people. When you know Jesus, you are an adopted Jewish person, and there is freedom for you mentally, physically, emotionally. That's where we're going to build our house upon the rock. And knowing that, yes, we have troubles in this life, but they will pass. The storms will pass. The loneliness will pass. The holidays will come and go. And so will Corona. And we're going to be okay. Live we win, die we win. To live is Christ, to die is gain. But I don't want you to die. I want you to gain. Here on earth, as it is in heaven. And so what it is, you give your heart over to Jesus by a living, you're like, Jesus, I don't know who you are, come into my life, show up or shut up. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but like, you got to be God right now. And what it is, there is a living spiritual relationship between us and God through Jesus that was the sacrificial lamb on the cross that, yes, indicates our sin, but also indicates our value, because that sin debt was paid off to restore us to our original value, which is never to be alone. Even though I am by myself, I feel his presence with me always. I'm not special. We all are. We can all have this. We're all supposed to. It's like the sun. All you got to do is, if it's not cloudy, you go outside, open your eyes, put your face to the sun, it's free. That's what Jesus is. He is a help in troubled times. These times are troubled, and you might not like being where you're at and how it's going for these holidays. Call on Jesus by his Spirit. Ask for yourself, receive for yourself, so that as you build your heart upon the rock that is Jesus, he overcame death, hell, and the grave. We can too. You will overcome. And it is not by our own spirit. It's not by our own strength. It is by his Spirit and his strength. And it's going to be the voice of love in your mind and in your heart, letting you know that you are a beloved child of God, and that, this too shall pass. And whatever Satan has meant to, for our destruction, God will use it for our good. So you got good things coming your way. Deal with it. You can, never quit, never surrender. Fight, you will win. And enjoy the holidays. Go be nice to somebody who can't deal, that's having it rougher. Quick thought for my lunch break video. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and great New Year. I think Hanukkah already passed. I'm Jewish, I should know this. I know Jesus. All right, I got one out of the two, and that was the one that counts. So with that, Merry Happy Ho Ho. Bye-bye.